Alright, welcome back to another video in our Introduction to Final Fantasy XIV. Um, we are continuing on with our main quests. I am, as you can see on screen, Sabercat Skyfire, and we are continuing with our Arcanist. We're putting some efforts into leveling, but I will be changing jobs as soon as I get to Ul'dah and am allowed to change jobs. So not going to get too attached to this, but I will do separate tutorial videos for every job that I take. So this job won't necessarily go away. It'll just kind of go to the back burner for a little bit, and then we'll pick up with a new one. We'll try to get caught up in our level as fast as we can, and we'll continue on with the main scenario. So right now what we're doing, we are going to the southern part of the map and dealing with a particular person who isn't really doing what he needs to do. We're going to /doubt him or use the doubt emote at him. And we're also going to look for some sheep who are part of our hunting log, the lost lambs near Zephyr's Drift. So those should be kind of in the same area. We'll do those. And we're getting close to level 10, really close to level 9 right now. We will be level 9 well before we complete this quest. It will allow us to pick up our next job quest or next class quest, which is important for leveling and for accessing additional skills. Close to the quest area, we'll keep an eye out for our little sheep. For the most part, enemies that are on your hunting log, oh, there's our sheep right there. There isn't typically multiple enemies in the area that are not really what you want. The exception is if you're attacking something that's slightly humanoid, like a beast tribe of some kind. There may be different types of enemies, like there might be an enemy that's more like a gladiator, and an enemy that's more like an archer. Like right here, we've got goblins, goblin muggers. If one of those was a mugger and the other one was a pugilist, your hunting log may be to only kill muggers, so you wouldn't get any additional XP other than the normal killing, and you would kind of have to pick and choose what you want to attack. Here, let's kill these sheep real quick. Poor little lost lamb made a bad decision. That's 2, and this will be our 3rd. There's level 9. Fantastic. And here's our quest giver, or our quest person. Let's doubt him. Hey, buddy, I doubt your intentions. What is this? So we're saying, fine, just go over there and get your stinking things. So the enemies that we just saw that person fighting are the enemies that I'm about to aggro. See, I couldn't see those other NPCs though because I hadn't progressed the storyline far enough to really know what was there to see these players. So that's why it looked like he just randomly came across these goblins for no reason. Now it makes a little bit more sense. So we will save them, even though they're the henchmen of the enemy. So now we'll go back and talk to him, and I'm sure he'll go, well, really wasn't happy with you, but since you saved my people, I'll do what I need to do. Not really a bad guy, he's just a little misguided. He ran off, but I'm taking the oranges, which was the whole point. We were coming to get that fruit that he apparently stole. Okay, so now it's got us continuing further down the path. We're not going backwards. This is attempting to progress us either to another area or to another quest hub. I don't know if that's a quest hub. It does have a secondary quest there, but this could just be transitioning us back to the city in a little bit more of an efficient manner. Ooh, so this is giving level 8 boots. That'll save me some money if I do this quest. See what I meant about being distracted? But the good news is we needed to go back to that camp anyway, the Summerford Farms. So instead of teleporting, I'll just run back and we will kill the Yarzon. Hopefully I can turn that in up in Summerford and I don't have to come all the way back down to the bottom of the map, but it is possible that I could need to come back. A little bit of running around. It's a very low level Fate, level 3. I'm not really interested in that. Or the level 4, and it's about to end in 6 seconds, so we will just come down here and we will interact with this quest. Attack the Yarzon that show up. One down. Very creepy, almost daddy longleg type creatures. I've played a lot of MMOs. I strongly will state that I believe Final Fantasy is the best looking and most tightly developed game. There are certainly MMOs that are a little bit more realistic in their art style, but I mean, these games are just gorgeous. Look at the colors that we're working with. The color palette is amazing. The character models, the effects, everything is very smooth. MMOs are known for having really poor graphics because the world is so large they need to focus their resources on other things. But I mean, this is phenomenal. Even when you compare it against something like Elder Scrolls Online or World of Warcraft, World of Warcraft has come a long way in the past 5 years and looks way better than it used to. I would challenge to put these side by side as far as graphical elements on an individual scale, but they are very different art styles. This is a very classic Japanese art style, whereas World of Warcraft is a little bit more of a cartoony art style, so you can't necessarily compare them directly. Both are great looking games. Elder Scrolls takes a little bit more of a realistic approach to their art style. Definitely not photorealism, but you can tell it has more of a realistic feel. Okay, I'm actually going to go down here and turn this quest in because I can then teleport back to here and try to be a little bit more efficient in my movements as opposed to going up here, turning it in, and then running all the way down. And hopefully it doesn't send me back here after I finish. But I mean, again, the game is visually stunning. The graphics, the effects, looking at how my character's tail is moving, it's very fluid. My coat is very flowy. It's not stiff. I mean, it's got a little bit of stiffness at the bottom, but there's movement. It's just very well done. A lot of MMOs, the gear looks painted on, almost like it's part of the character's skin as opposed to being something they wear. And in this, it really feels like something they're wearing. This is something that you put on. You even see accessories If I change my earrings, you see them on my person. If I change my bracelet, you can see it on my person if it's visible. My rings, same thing. You see them on your character. Most MMOs, accessories like that are not visible. Um, Only the main gear pieces like your headpiece, your chest piece, your belt, your weapon are visible. So I appreciate that they really put the time and effort into drawing those assets and making them visually appealing. Alright, so here we've got a new weapon. I'm going to gamble a little bit. I'm going to say that I will probably get another book for my level 10 job quest. If I don't get it, that's unfortunate, but I can always buy one. I'm going to take the gold because I need gold, and I think I'm going to get one for my job quest. I may not. Alright, let's see what this gentleman has now. He wants to give us some gloves, which is great. Another upgrade. Go back to plowing the fields, which are this way. Those are enemies over there. Those are aggressive enemies. However, there you go. Look at that. Here's an example of somebody who's on my hunting log, but not all of them are. So I'm going to try to be as efficient as possible and only pull the ones I need to. You could certainly just clear everything out to gain additional XP, but I want to focus on just what I need to. Now, this is a perfect example of what is more than likely connected enemies. Possibly not. But sometimes you'll target an enemy and you'll see a yellow line that connects to another character or enemy in the near vicinity. What that means is if you engage any one of those, you will pull all of them. So I'm going to attack this one and see if it pulls the other gentleman. It doesn't. Apparently at this point, it hasn't really started having that happen. Of course, it's very odd. He's now standing there talking to himself. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It would have made more sense for him to aggro, but the game does give you a little bit of protection in that if he hasn't seen you, he's not aggroing unless they're connected by that line, or I do something to get his attention, like get too close to him, get into his field of view, attack him with an area of effect, or spread like a disease from a person who is targeted to him. Oh, I pulled this guy just by getting too close, and I pulled another one. Alright. My carbuncle is tanking one of them. heal my pet, and then I'm going to heal myself. You can heal yourself. Instead of trying to target yourself, if you cast a heal spell when you have an enemy selected, it will automatically heal you, because it knows you don't want to heal the enemy. I find that a lot easier than trying to self-target or creating a quick key for targeting self. Did I get everyone I needed to get here? Oh, jeez. This is why the lower level areas have a lot of passive mobs, because you could very quickly gain the attention of a whole lot of enemies. And it is based on the level. So the closer I am in level to the enemies around me, the more likely they are to see me, or if I'm lower than them. If you get high enough up, they stop noticing you, or they realize I don't want anything to do with that person. So if I came back here and I was 10 levels higher, I would pretty much have to stand right on top of them and stand there for a few seconds to get their attention. If I was 20 levels higher, me just walking by would do nothing. They would not even consider looking at me. So, okay, this is a quest, also next to a fate. Now, the enemies that I'm killing right now don't have anything to do with the fate itself. This is a boss fate, so we haven't really seen one of those yet. There's only one enemy. He's this giant bull mastodon elephant thing. If I try to engage him, I will do a decent amount of damage, and between me and my pet, we might be able to kill him. But it is very difficult for most characters to solo, especially at low level, solo a boss fate, because they have so much health because they're anticipating multiple people being involved. But we'll see what happens. If I'm taking too much damage from his attacks, we will run away. Definitely get out of that, because that's going to hurt. We can run away and he'll reset. If you completely leave the zone and no one else is attacking him, the boss will reset back to 0. The downside to that is I won't get any credit for the damage I did because it's negated. Now, if somebody else were to run over, like this person right here, and start attacking him, if I ran out of the fate and, say, went to do quests, I would still get credit once it finishes, assuming that it finishes because the time runs out or somebody killed him. If I run away and then someone else runs away and he resets, I don't get any XP. So it's obviously best for you to stay as long as you can. This is going to expire in 10 minutes, but it's also going to expire based on his health. If he dies, this ends, regardless of how much time is left. So with the two of us here, plus I have a pet, they're an archer, they're doing a decent amount of damage. I'm going to kill this additional enemy because he's going to cause some problems if I don't. Ooh. So you have to be careful because the range of a fate is determined by that blue circle. So as you get close to the border of the blue circle, you may want to stop running away and try to run actually towards the enemy and run past them, because if you run out of the range, you could negate everything that you've done. And that's really, really frustrating when it's a boss fate and you've spent 4 or 5 minutes on it and you're getting really close to having it done, and then it despawns essentially or resets because you left the zone and there isn't anybody to deal with it. I'm going to heal this person, which will also give me additional XP. Oh, they're being attacked by a bee. That's why they're taking so much damage. And we're going to just finish off this boss so we get our credit. Definitely going to get a gold. There we go. 1200 XP. Nice chunk of change there. Kill some enemies because I know they're going to aggro when we go to pick up this loam? Black loam? Some type of item somebody needs for a cook pot. collect our last black loam here and then head back and turn in our quest. So this quest turn in is not at the Aetheryte, so we're gonna take the trek. Could be that it's leading us into another quest hub, maybe across the bridge, or it could just be about to send us back to town. Okay, so I've hit level 10, so I can do my next job quest. I got another spell. So this is another damage over time spell, so we're actually going to put it next to the one I've already gotten. Now this one has a little bit of a longer cast time. It's going to do less damage initially. It's going to do damage initially for a small amount, and then it's going to do less damage over time, but it's going to last longer. So it should end up doing more in the long run. I'm actually going to switch these just because I think that'll feel a little bit better. All right, we're going to pick up our next story quest, which is going to give me level 8 pants, which is great. And we're going to go ahead and go up and check recommended gear. Look, all kinds of things I can use now. Do this quest, and then we'll go back and get our level 10 quest and complete it, and that will be it for this video. We're back killing the pirates. See? Another example of your hunting log, at least in the beginning, usually set to help you out. Especially with all the pirates I killed earlier by accidentally aggroing so many of them. Would have been much more efficient to have done this quest at the same time, but that's okay. Not a huge deal. Back up a little bit so we don't pull that person who just walked over. Now there is a level 11 person here. It's a captain of this group. I wonder if I'm going to get a quest to kill him or if he would just be a bonus. We'll see. Okay, back to the farm. I'm going to be a little lazy here. And we'll use the free one to save some money. So my plan, again, once I advance the storyline far enough to gain access to Gridania and Ul'dah, I will pick up Conjurer when I am in Gridania, which eventually becomes a white mage. It's a healer. And I will be picking up Gladiator, which eventually becomes the Paladin, which is a tank when I'm in Ul'dah. Having these additional jobs will allow me to do some additional tutorial videos. I will transition to the Gladiator because I really want to level that with my story as much as possible. So I'm going to try to get it caught up to the story quests, the main story, as quickly as I can so I can continue on with the story tutorial, but I will also